All right, so back again with part 3 of why I still support the death penalty, and this will likely be the last video on this issue, that at least the last video that I intend to make. I mean, I may refer back to it if something big happens or if I change my opinion or something like that, but we'll see. But anyway, basically my argument and my justification for supporting the death penalty, it all comes down to just, either you as an individual or we as a nation or society, the things that we choose to support and the things that we choose to give, ethical consideration, it doesn't align. In my mind, it doesn't align with why we then wouldn't, treat people who have committed horrible atrocities against other people and even other, innocent beings, with the same amount of, neglect, is probably not the best word, but, with the same level of ethical consideration that, we as a society or you as an individual may give to something, say like the treatment of Indigenous people. The way that we in Canada treat Indigenous people and communities is just, horrific. There's communities across the nation that still don't have access to clean drinking water, that still have food insecurities. We have the big issue with missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls that no one wants to talk about, that no one cares to look into, that no one wants to spend resources on to figure out, okay, who is behind all of this, So I feel like with all these things, with the way we treat homeless people, with the way that, and I'm calling out Alberta in particular, with the way that Alberta treats, innocent animals for their rodeos, where they're riding horses and bulls and whatever, riling them up, getting them angry, probably drugging them, doing all these unhumane things, and then riding them to, damn near death. But, you see them exhausted and just collapsing on the ground, and then they're still being mocked and ridiculed and everything like that. So, I mean, and then on top of that, you also have people who do those like hog ties where they scare up the pigs and let them loose and chase them down and wrap them up, tie them up. I mean, all that just for the name of entertainment, I mean, and then that's just the tip of the iceberg. We have like the circuses, the aquariums, don't know why I said it like that. The aquariums, the zoos, we have horse racing, horseback riding. We abuse these innocent beings and take advantage of them. And then when they get injured during a race, then we end up just killing them like they're nothing, Like, it just amazes me the amount of lack of, ethical consideration and empathy that we have for certain people or certain animals in certain industries or in certain things like that. But yet, when it comes to horrible people who are on or should be on death row, somehow someone is going to come and tell me that, no, we can't kill them. It's unethical. It's immoral. It's bad. It's wrong, But yet, either they as an individual or we as a society and nation have said that, oh no, it's okay to do these other unethical, unnecessary, horrible things to innocent people, to innocent animals that haven't done anything, that through no fault of their own. While we have these people who have done things through fault of their own accord, their own free will, but yet we can't do anything unethical to them, which, I mean, isn't, like I said, in my mind, the death penalty isn't unethical, especially when you consider the circumstances in which we as a society are living in and how we treat other innocent beings. There's no way the death penalty is unethical. But, people will tell me that I'm just as bad as the bad man or woman who should be on death row, simply because I want to see them, executed. I'm like, oh, please spare me, spare me that higher than thou, How am I just as bad as this person who has, murdered 10 people, raped 15 people, tell me again how I'm just as bad as them because I want to see them gone for good with no chance of getting out ever. It doesn't make any sense. So people can spare me all that, you know. Don't tell me about ethics of the death penalty when we as a society, or you as an individual, do far more unethical things than I requesting someone to be executed for horrific crimes against people and animals and things like that unjustly. So don't tell me that, oh yeah, the death penalty is unethical, when we as a society are supporting all kinds of unethical, unnecessary, unjust things. But yet we're supposed to give some I don't know, inherent ethical consideration to these evil people, these horrible people, simply because why? They're people. I mean, like, okay, like that doesn't justify anything, simply because they're part of the human species. I mean, that's that speciesism or speciest mentality. So in my mind, don't ever tell me a thing about the death penalty being unethical when either you as an individual or, we as a society support, the horrific and unjust and unethical treatment of so many innocent animals and people. That's just how I feel.